evening from the close of day one. The travel day was full of the enthusiasm, joy, excitement, and camaraderie that defines this delightful group of young people. They rose to every challenge, blanketing each other in conversation and companionship, entertainment and soft places to rest. Our first dinner together was a warm reprieve from the trials of the road, and silence has finally settled over our tropical home away from home. Day 2 has come and gone, and it will be a day long remembered. After years of hearing about and looking forward to the zipline tour in Costa Rica, today was finally the class of 2016's turn, and it did not disappoint. They were a bit of everything this morning, excited, overjoyed, nervous, and scared, and we enjoyed a long morning of thrills, laughter, and a few screams. The afternoon was spent touring a small, sustainable organic farm that is full of surprises, most notably the owner-operator Don Juan, Costa Rica's answer to Willy Wonka. In his jovial way, Don Juan shares with the kids his amazingly diverse array of mystery plants, with tastes ranging from unfathomably sour to scorchingly hot and perturbingly bitter. As always, we close the day with a circle complete with inspirational thoughts and messages, and even some live comedy. As a gentle trickle of rain has followed the darkness in tonight, everyone is cozily asleep and resting up for another full day of adventure. We had another exciting day, beginning with a trip to a local waterfall and a stop to swim at a water park that featured geothermal heating on account of the giant Arenal volcano looming just behind the property, but lost in the mist. Afterwards, we hiked up to the base of the volcano, and our guides relayed first-person accounts of Arenal's major eruptions that they had learned through the years of visiting the town and its residents. This afternoon, we settled into our place on the farm campus of Rancho Margo. This self-sustaining, biodynamic resort is among the best agricultural education centers in the world and has always been a highlight of the Meadowbrook experience. The class is all bunked in a rustic, dormitory-style lodge, and after some time to unwind, we had a wonderful dinner and ventured into the forest to the Riverside Pavilion for our evening community circle. One by one, we are all falling in love with the people, places, and peace of Costa Rica. Day 4 ended the way it began, with the pleasant sound of rain on clay rooftops and the gentle whistle of wind through soaked banana trees. The morning began with a sunrise shift in the dairy for a milking session, then breakfast and a long guided tour through the farm. We saw how the electricity for the resort was harnessed from the rivers, how the animals were raised in an ethical and responsible way, how crops were grown in harmony with each other, and how local artists preserved ancient indigenous styles of pottery. Every detail of Rancho Margo strives to mimic the perfect cycle of nature's closed loop, where nothing goes to waste and everything remains in balance. After lunch and some time working the fields, the class did some guided reflecting in their journals, swam, attended a yoga class, and played cards. After dinner, we were treated to an hour-long discussion with Juan Sothsam, the visionary creator of Rancho Margo, who, through his enthralling story and passionate, peaceful, and wise demeanor, made a permanent impression upon all of us. Day 5 began with bidding goodbye to Rancho Margo and heading southeast from Arenal through an endless expanse of banana and pineapple plantations. A few fun stops included a visit to an ice cream shop that also raises iguanas. This afternoon, we had our first chance to visit a transitional home in the town of Guapiles. The class of 2016 were exemplary friends and role models for these young children, engaging them in everything from soccer games and parachutes to piggybacks and cartwheels. As educators, we watched from the sidelines with great pride and joy as we marveled at the Meadowbrook kids sharing their love. Like everything else in life, sometimes you don't notice the changes and growth in a young person from day to day. It appears little by little and in subtle ways. However, when you see the scene that we were fortunate enough to be a part of today, there is no doubt that these 8th graders are true and strong in character, passion, and purpose, and are nearly ready to springboard into their own bright futures. Whatever else comes our way, it will be hard to top day 6. How wonderful that the Dia de Amistad y Amor was so full of love. This morning, our guides surprised us all with a glittery bulletin board covered in baby pictures of every student on the trip, complete with a Valentine's message and wish addressed to Jojo and Bucky and Pumpkin and all of the other cutesy names parents used to call their kids. Our next destination was a Pani transitional home in Limon, with which Meadowbrook has a special relationship. This partnership between the school, the MLI, and Pani has seen us visit 10 times over the last 5 years and has included the construction of a learning center amidst the houses, now outfitted with books, art supplies, games, toys, and computers. We spent all day making Valentine's Day cards and paper projects, eating candy hearts, playing outside, and cuddling babies. The outpouring of energy and love from the 8th grade was so special, so pure and beautiful, that it defies words. Instead, you must simply look for it, see it clearly reflected in your own children's eyes, caring for these kids as only they could. We'll be home soon, but we won't be the same, and we'll strive each day to live with the gratefulness, generosity of heart, and compassion that we have all realized on account of the experience we had today. Living day 6 of the Meadowbrook Cultural Exchange was watching a dream come true in all of us. Deep in the mountains of Talamanca, night falls early and darkness closes in on our sleeping quarters. We spent the entire day on the indigenous Bribri reservation, volunteering time, effort, and enthusiasm to a remote school and village. The Malaric School has been an extension of the Meadowbrook community for years now, as members of our families have helped to rebuild the grounds and to supply the school with a solar power system that provides all of the electricity for the school buildings. Today, Meadowbrook students played with and worked alongside Malaric students as they sanded, painted, and decorated desks, dug and planted several gardens, mixed tons of concrete to extend a school building, and built the foundation of an irrigation tank platform. Later, we drove to a community center and traditional lodge called Titso'o'u, where we met with the proprietor Danilo, a local tribal leader who shared stories about his life and explained the culture and traditions of the Bribri. His warmth of spirit has always made Danilo a mesmerizing and memorable character. Once again, we have met the goals of the trip by living with open arms and giving all that we have of ourselves to and for each other and everyone that we meet. Day 8 of our expedition has faded into silence, but for the warm and reassuring pounding of the Caribbean waters onto the narrow strip of the beach beside our hotel. This morning, we hosted the children from Pani in the hotel pool for a few hours, swimming and playing games, and then we visited the Jaguar Rescue Center in Puerto Viejo. The center serves as a refuge and veterinary clinic for wild animals that have been injured, orphaned, abandoned, or confiscated from poachers. Both activities made for great opportunities for our students to reconnect with their buddies and to shepherd them safely through deep water and wild monkey houses. Again, it was an affirmation of the relationships our group has formed across all types of barriers and the love they still willingly have to give. This afternoon, we spent a few hours wading in the ocean, exploring surf shops and ice cream stores, and sampling the local street-side barbecue pits. Following dinner, another friend and longtime collaborator, Susanna Schick, brought us to an aerial dance recital that featured a young local dance team performing a variety of stunts on rings, trapezes, and silks. After a wonderful day, we are busy pretending that we aren't going to have to say goodbye to this beloved trip so soon. Day 9 began with the Meadowbrook tradition, the solo. Everyone in the class gets to spend 3 hours alone on a long stretch of beach. It's a time to reflect and process everything that has happened and all the life that lies ahead. It is in this space that the real work of the trip is done. It's each individual's conversion of experience into evolved ideas, thoughts, attitudes, and values that gives a journey like this one its lasting impact. After lunch, we went for a long swim, soaking up the last opportunity to play beneath the glow of Caribbean sun, and then began the journey home. The evening closed with our traditional Passing of the Moon Frogs ceremony, where each student gifts another congratulatory idol in honor of their accomplishments during this adventure. The evening ultimately ended with a final round of goodnight hugs as emotion, pride, joy, and exhaustion spilled forth. As moments go, tonight was about as sweet as it ever gets. Our young people are coming home victorious, as this journey has left a beautiful, profound, and charmed impression on everyone it has touched. We will miss the moments that we have shared, and so we'll keep them in our hearts, sometimes holding them close like a candle in the dark, and others triumphantly above our heads as a compass and a guide. Day 10 brings us to the end. The air is bustling with pride over what we have accomplished and excitement to return home to family. This experience has been about love of all kinds. Love for each other, love for strangers, for ourselves, for the environment, and for all that we have. Thank you for coming on this journey with us, and tonight we'll be back in your arms.